Just give me one moment, because before I start the problem, let the recording start. Okay.
So now that we have seen the formulae for all the three solids, moving on to the next major thing that you should remember when you talk about capacity or volume. So the first conversion, this is very, very basic. You have learned it in your previous classes also. When I have 1000 centimeter cube, that is 1000 cc will be always equal to 1 liter. So whenever there is 1000 cc accumulated, you should know it has been called as 1 liter. So when I am having 1 liter, I should know it is 1000 centimeter cube. Or when 1000 centimeter cube is given to me, I should know it is equal to 1 liter. Now coming to the next conversion, this conversion is between liters and meter cube. Like you have 1000 centimeter cube between 1 liter. Now this meter cube is a bigger unit. Alright. So when I accumulate 1000 liters, that will be equal to 1 meter cube. 1000 centimeter cube is 1 liter. Whereas when you accumulate 1000 liters together, when you put, it will be called as 1 meter cube. This conversion is very, very important. Please remember this, because we are going to use them in the formula. Even in the exam, sometimes the radius, the height, etc. will be given in meters. But you will be asked the capacity of the cylinder to be expressed in liters. That time you should know this conversion. Otherwise, you will not be able to substitute it. Okay. Now the third one. This is very simple. 1 centimeter cube will be equal to 1 milliliter. You should know this. When I have only 1 centimeter cube with me, I should know it is equal to 1 milliliter. Alright. So with this background, we will start with the third problem. Now I am in the exercise 11.3 in page number 186. The third problem. Find the side of a cube whose surface area is 100 centimeters square. So you have a cube. Whenever it is given as a cube, you must know that all the edges are going to be same. That is, you call it as some A units. Alright? And I am told that the total surface area, only surface area is given. So you must remember this. When they are simply telling surface area of a cube, it refers to the total surface area. Okay. So the TSA of the cube is given as 600 centimeters square. Okay, this is given to me. What I am asked, find the side of the cube. You have to find out the side. That is, you don't know what is the edge of the cube. That's exactly what you have to find. Alright. Now I know the TSA of a cube. Using my formula, the TSA of a cube is 6a square. So you know 6a square is given to be equal to 600. Is that clear? In the place of TSA of cube, I am substituting the formula. And that TSA is already given as 600 centimeters square to me. So I am writing that way. So you see a simple equation is formed. So transpose the 6 first here. You will get a square equals 600 by 6. What is 600 by 6?
100.
100.
100. So a square is 100 means a into a. A square means a into a, I know. So which square number is equal to 100? We have learned squares. Which number when multiplied by itself will give you 100?
10.
10. So your A will be 10 centimeters. Why centimeters? Because my area is given in centimeters square. So my edge of the cube will be equal to 10 centimeters. So you will write the side of the cube. You should denote the answer in the end. The side of the cube is equal to 10 centimeters. So as simple as that. It looks simple because I know the formula. If you don't know the formula, then it is a problem. You can't even start with the problem. That's why I'm telling you, focus on this. These 6 formulae you should always know. You cannot afford to forget at all. And have you seen how many marks I have allocated for mensuration?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, 11 marks.
11, yes. So it's a major share. 11 marks, out of which I have two questions in section B and 1 question in section C. So definitely there are going to be problems related to surface areas and volumes, which you should be able to do, and you will be able to start a problem only when you know these formulae. Otherwise, you can't even start the problem. Clear? So now we will go on to the seventh problem. Let me clear this. Look at the seventh problem. We are talking about a different solid now. Try to identify what is the solid. We are talking about a closed cylindrical tank of radius 7 meters and height 3 meters is made from a sheet of metal. So we are making a cylindrical tank. So first let us imagine how the tank is going to look like. So I have a cylindrical tank whose radius is 7 meters and the height is 3 meters. So radius is 7. And the height is 3 meters. Maybe you have to draw it in a very shorter manner. I made it big. Is made from sheet of metal. There is one more key word. It is a closed cylinder. Closed cylinder. So when I talk about closed cylinder, what do I understand?
TSA.
Will it have a top and a bottom, or it will have only a bottom?
Ma'am, top and bottom.
Yes, that's why you have to concentrate on the problem. It's a closed cylindrical tank which is made out of metal sheet. So where will the metal sheet come? The metal sheet will cover the curved surface area, correct? Suttanu baratte. The entire curved surface will be made of the metal sheet. Will the metal sheet come on the top also? And the bottom also? It is a closed cylindrical tank. So the metal sheet should be used to cover the CSA alone, or the CSA top and bottom.
Ma'am, CSA alone.
It is a closed cylindrical tank. That is the word that you have to catch. It's a closed cylindrical tank. So should I have the metal sheet on the top and the bottom, or should I not have it?
Ma'am, we should have it.
Ma'am, you should have it.
If you have the bottom, then you can't store anything inside the container. And because it is said it is closed, both the top and the bottom also should be covered with the metal sheet. So to find out the area of the metal sheet used, should you find out the TSA or the CSA?
Ma'am, TSA.
Why TSA?
Ma'am, because we need to cover the top and bottom also.
Yes. Apart from the curved surface, the top and the bottom also should be closed with the metal sheet. So what I need to find is the TSA of the cylinder. So we will write metal sheet required will be equal to TSA of cylindrical tank. Okay, is the statement clear? Whatever metal I want should be equal to the CSA, the top and the bottom. That means it is the TSA that you want. Alright, so what is the TSA of a cylinder? We have to go back to our formula. The TSA of a cylinder is 2 pi r times r plus h. This you must know, my dear children. I am not going to give you the formula in the exams. You must know it by yourself. So please learn them by heart. Now that you are given that the radius is 7 and the height is 3, you have to substitute it there to find the TSA. And that TSA will be exactly equal to your the metal sheet which is required to cover the tank. So come on, substitute it. Let me see. What will you substitute? 2 into pi. Pi value, will you take it as 22 by 7 or 3.14?
Ma'am, 22.
22 by 7 because you are seeing r is already 7. So that may get cancelled. That is the reason I'm going to take pi as 22 by 7. The radius is 7 into 7 plus 3. So this substitution you should do it carefully. Then you can cancel this. 7 and 7. You have 2 into 22 which is 44 into 10. 7 plus 3 is 10. So 440 meter square. Because the radius and the height is given in meters, this will be 440 meter squares. So finally you should write how much sheet of metal is required. So 440 meter squares of metal sheet is required to cover the closed cylindrical tank. I hope you are writing all this in your classwork. This is going to come in the exam. Don't avoid it. Closed cylindrical tank. That's the reason I am using the board and I am doing the diagrams also for you. Please write it down. It will be useful during your revision for your exams. Most probably your exam should start from the 15th of May. The schedule is still getting ready. So as soon as it is ready, we will share it with you. So keep it in mind, somewhere from March 15th, your exams are going to start. Don't be careless anymore. Okay, the next one is the 8th problem that we are going to take. That's why I am recording the class also later on. If you have missed any step, you can see the video and then complete it. But please do write it down immediately so that you don't miss out on your understanding. Okay, the 8th one. The lateral surface area of a hollow cylinder is 4,224 centimeters square. It is cut along its height to form a rectangular sheet of width which is equal to 33 centimeters. So there is a cylinder. Okay, there is a cylinder which is originally there. It's going to be cut along its height. So you're going to cut it here like this. You will keep a scissor and cut it. It's a hollow cylinder. So when you cut, it will open up like a rectangle. This I think we have discussed already. When you cut open and spread the cylinder, it will open up to form a rectangle. Or when a rectangle is folded around, you will get a cylinder. Like suppose you have this rectangular sheet. I can roll it up like this to form a cylinder, right? Cylinder. When I cut it open, it will open like a rectangle. Alright, that's exactly what I'm doing. Now you must carefully watch how does the total shape of the cylinder become a rectangle. Now this is the height of the cylinder. And this is the radius of the cylinder. So when it was a cylinder, it has a height and a radius. When it is cut open and made into a rectangle, this height will become the width of the rectangle. Correct? This is the width.
I'm not able to see the
And
top.
this is the length. You're not able to see something? Just a minute. Let me see what happened. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Now we are able to see?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes.
This cylinder is cut open and made into a rectangular piece. Alright. So when you cut open the cylinder, this height of the cylinder has now become the width of the rectangle. Yeah, there I show you. This is how the cylinder was originally. Okay. I'm cutting it open here. So it will open up like this. And it will become a rectangle. So initially this was the height. This was the height of the cylinder. Now when I opened it up as a rectangle, the height which was there has become the width of the rectangle. Okay. And what do you think is the length of this rectangle? From where the length has come? This will open up fully to form the length. So what is this for a cylinder? I am talking only about the boundary. Only this boundary.
Circumference.
Yes, it is the circumference. So this L will be 2 pi r, where r is the radius of the cylinder. So we know the width of the rectangle is equal to height of the cylinder, and the length of the rectangle is equal to the circumference of the cylinder. Alright, now with this we will try to proceed and find out what they have asked. It is cut along its height and the rectangular sheet of width 33 centimeters is formed. So this width is given as 33 centimeters. Okay, and what I am asked? I am asked the perimeter of the rectangle. Alright, so first thing, the lateral surface area or the CSA of the cylinder is given to be 4224. This is given to me as 4224 centimeter square. Okay. Now I know what is the CSA of the cylinder. This or this? 2 pi r h or 2 pi r plus h?
2 pi r.
2 pi r.
2 pi r h. So in the place of CSA, you write 2 pi r h equals 4224. So here, I don't know the radius of the cylinder. It is not given to me. Do I know the height of the cylinder?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Where it is not given, no. Is it given?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, it is given because the height of the cylinder has now become the width of the rectangle. So width of the rectangle is given means it is equal to the height of the cylinder. So in the place of h, can I substitute 33?
No.
Yes, so I will substitute 2 pi r times 33 equals 4224. Now I will not touch this 2 pi r. Why I will not touch this 2 pi r, I will tell you later on. So we will find out what is 2 pi r. Only the h we will transpose that side. So 2 pi r equals 4224 divided by 33. Do this division, both of them are multiples of 11. If you know the divisibility test by 11, you know that it will be divisible by 11, both of them. Go ahead. Divide both of them with 11. 11 3s are 33. Divide 4224 with 11.
I'm 128.
You will get 384. See if you're getting 384. Then 384 and 3 also you can cancel. They are multiples. 384 is a multiple of 3. Tell me how many times?
Ma'am, 120.
Yes, 128. So your 2 pi r is 128. I stopped there. I didn't go to find out the radius because nobody is asking me the radius. What is asked in the problem? What is the perimeter of the rectangular sheet? What is the perimeter of a rectangle? Can you recall that formula?
2L.
Ma'am,
How do
2
you find the perimeter of a rectangle?
Ma'am, 2
Ma'am,
times
2L
its
plus
length.
B.
2 times L plus B. So perimeter of the rectangle equals 2 times L plus B. So is the L and B known to me? B is nothing but 33, correct? So I will write, what is your L? L is your 2 pi r, correct? 2 pi r plus 33. Now you understand why I did not go and find out what is r here. I want 2 pi r to be substituted in the place of L because I know my L is 2 pi r. So I got my 2 pi r as 128. So in the place of 2 pi r, substitute 128 now. So 2 times 128 plus 33. What is 128 plus 33? Add fast. 2 times 128 plus 33.
161.
Yes, 161. Multiply it with 2.
Ma'am, 322.
Yes, ma'am.
So many what? I want the perimeter. Will it be centimeter square or only centimeter? Will it be centimeter square or only centimeter? We are talking about perimeter, which means it is the boundary. What will be the unit for the perimeter? Only centimeters. Only area will be in centimeter square. So 322 centimeters is the perimeter of the rectangle that you get while you open your cylinder. Alright, so we have done a few problems on area. Now we will move on to the volume. We'll move on to the next exercise. That is exercise 11.4. I hope you have completed this. Please write it down properly in your class note. It's going to help you for the revision for the exam, final exam. This problem because we have two problems in section D and one problem in section C. Definitely these kinds of word problems are only going to be asked. Some of them from area and some of them from volume A. So you must know these varieties of problems which will most probably happen in the section C and D. Okay, going back to exercise 11.4 and page number 191. Okay, we will take up the third problem. Find the height of the cuboid whose base area is 180 centimeters square and the volume is 900 centimeter cube. So we have a cuboid. So immediately you should imagine a cuboid whose height is given as, no, height we have asked, we are given the base area. So this is the base. So this area is given as 180 centimeters square. They are asking you to find the height. You need the height, which you don't know. And the volume is given too. So volume of cuboidal box. What is it? It's a box. No, cuboid. Yes. Volume of the cuboid is given as 900 centimeter cube. What is the volume of cuboid? It is L into B into H, which is equal to 900. Now they are not asking me L, B or H. They are asking me base area. What is base area here? This area, if you want to find out, what you will do? It is a rectangle which has got a length and which has got a breadth. So if you want to find the area of this base, what will you do?
Ma'am,
Hundred
divided by
Yes, you will multiply the L and the B. So this L and the B is nothing but base area. Okay, then into height will be equal to 900. So they are asking you what is the base area. So what you have to transpose, the height is given as, no sorry, the base area is given as 180, you are asked the height. So in the place of base area, you substitute 180 into H is equal to 900. What I want is the height of the cuboid. So height will be, transpose the 180 to the other side, multiplication will go as division. So 180 in the denominator, cancel the zeros. 18, how many times is 90? 18 tables
five
with 5 times. So your height of the cuboid will be 5 meters.
Ma'am, 5 centimeters.
Next. Yeah, what happened?
No, ma'am, you told meter, it's centimeter.
Sorry, please be a little louder.
Ma'am, it's meter, ma'am, not centimeter. Sorry, ma'am, it's centimeter, not meter.
Okay, I wrote a centimeter here. Sorry. Height of the cuboid is 5 centimeters. Okay, so it's a very simple problem. You should know that L into B is nothing but the base area. So base area multiplied with the height will give you volume. Volume is given as 900. Base area is given as 180. So height it is volume divided by base area, which becomes the height. Okay, moving on to the fifth problem. Again, you're talking about the cylinder here now. The fifth one. Okay. Find the height of a cylinder whose volume is 1.54 meter cube and the diameter of the base is 140 centimeter. Here you have to be very careful because there are two different varieties of units which are there. So there is a cylinder whose base radius is given as, diameter is given, so you should be very careful. The diameter of the base is given as 140. So this is the diameter. Is given as 140 centimeters. So what will be the radius then?
Ma'am, 70.
Yes, it will be half of the diameter, that is d by 2. So my radius will be 140 centimeters divided by 2, which will be 70 centimeters. Alright, then what else is given? You are given the volume of the cylinder. The volume of cylinder is 1.54 meter cube. This is centimeter, this is meter cube. What should you do? You should bring it to a common unit. Because the volume is already in meter cube, I will convert the 70 centimeters to meter. How many centimeters make 1 meter?
100.
100. So you have to divide this 70 with 100 to tell it is 0.7 meters. Alright, so I have brought both of them to the same unit, that is meters. Now volume of cylinder, I know it is pi r square h. So pi r square h is equal to 1.54. Now the radius I know is 0.7 meters, only height I want. So pi, what will you substitute? 22 by 7 or 3.14? You have some 7 here. So remember, it will be substituted as 22 by 7. Instead of writing it as 0.7, can I write it as 7 by 10?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So r square means again into 7 by 10 into height is equal to 1.5. Now you can cancel the 7 here. Now you want the height. So what is in the denominator will go to the numerator because this is division, goes as multiplication. 1.54 into 10 divided by what is in the numerator is 22 and 7. That will come to the denominator. Now try to simplify this further. 1.54 into 10 will become 154. 2 decimal places it will jump. And 22 by 7, 22 into 7 is again 154. So this will be equal to 1 meter itself. So you will tell the height of the cylinder is 1 meter. That's as simple as that. Ella kade nodi, unless you know the formula, you can't even start with the problem. That is why this is very, very important. You should know them by heart. One last problem we will take up where I am going to use the conversion of liters and meter cube. I told you this conversion is also very, very important. So we will take up the sixth problem. I hope you are writing it in your notebook.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. A milk tank is in the form of a cylinder whose radius is 1.5 and the length is 7. So radius and the height is given. This is a tank which contains milk. Radius is 1.5, length is 7. Length means you're talking about the height here. So radius is 1.5 meters and the height is 7 meters. 14 meters, no? Yeah. So I have to find out what is the quantity of the milk contained in this tank in liters. So first of all, let me find out the capacity or the volume of this tank, because that tank will be completely filled with milk. So whatever is the capacity of the tank, that will be the volume of milk that you are going to take. Alright, so volume of milk will be equal to the volume of the cylindrical tank. Okay, now I know volume of cylinder is pi r square h. So r h also is known, so substitute. Again I'll take my pi as 22/7. R is, say I take 15/10 into 15/10. Shall I take it like that? Because it is 1.5, no, r square, h is 7. If you want, you can take, otherwise 10. So the 7 goes. Now you may have to multiply. If you want to have it as 15/10, you have it. Or if you think decimal multiplication is easy, you can have it as 1.5 into 1.5, whichever you feel easy. But anyway, the 7 is gone. So this will be 22 into 15 square is 2.25. 1.5 into 1.5. 15 square is 225, I know. So 1.5 means 2 decimal places. 2 digits after the decimal places. So this will come out to be, multiply 22 into 2.25. It will be 49.50 meter cube. Because we started with radius and the height in meters, we should get the thing in meter cube. Now what do I want? I want to convert this into liters. So what was the conversion? I know 1 meter cube is 1000 liters. So if there is only 1 meter cube, I call it 1000 liters. Now I have so many meter cubes. So this will be equal to 49.50 into 1000. You understand why I am multiplying with 1000? Because I know 1 meter cube 100 is 1000. Now you have 49.50 meter cube. So when you want to convert it into liters, you are multiplying that with 1000. So you will get 49500 liters. The decimal will jump 3 places. Because after 0 you don't have another digit, you can put a 0 there and jump. Alright? So you will get 49,500 liters is the volume of milk contained in that tank. Okay, with that I think I have completed my chapter on mensuration. Now I just wanted to discuss on the blueprint. So I will share my screen there now. Please take down all these problems and practice. They are going to be very useful when you are revising for your exam. Okay. So now let me present my screen to discuss with you what I have given as the blueprint. Are you seeing my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, this is the blueprint I have shared with you yesterday, right? I hope all of you have a copy of all this. Now try to understand what it means. Your question paper is going to contain 4 sections. Section A, Section B, Section C and Section D. Alright. Section A will contain 1 mark questions. Section B will contain 2 marks questions. Section C 3 marks and Section D 4 marks. Okay. So among Section A you have 6 questions of 1 mark. That's what I have shown as total. So Section A will sum up to 6 marks. Because 6 questions of 1 mark each. What is there inside the bracket is the mark for every question. And what is outside the bracket is the number of questions. So 6 questions of 1 mark each. Totally it will become 6 marks. So which are the chapters in which the 1 mark question is going to come? I have clearly told you. It will be from squares and square roots, cubes and cube roots, comparing quantities, visualizing solids, exponents and powers, algebraic expressions. That's all. These 6 chapters you will have the 1 mark question. Alright. Now going on to the section B. Section B, each question is going to carry 2 marks. And there are going to be again 6 questions of 2 marks. So in section B, you can score totally 12 marks. So these 6 questions will come from, one will come from linear equations, one from squares and square roots, one from cubes and cube roots, one in comparing quantities, one in visualizing solids, and one in exponents and powers. So that will make 6 into 2, 12 marks. So already 6 marks in section A, 12 marks in section B. Next, moving on, section C. Each question is going to have 3 marks and you are going to have 10 such questions. Okay, so section C is going to be a long section because there are 10 questions that you have to answer. So this will come from linear equations, quadrilaterals, practical geometry. We didn't do anything in practical geometry for a midterm. You understand, because it was through your Google form, the construction could not be tested at all. So that's why I have taken one in section C and one in section D. Both of these are going to be constructions. Please be careful. Practice all the constructions that I have taught you. Okay? You can go through the video once again also. It will help you to learn the construction again properly. So among the 3 marks question, you will have one from linear equations, one from quadrilateral, one from practical geometry, one from data handling. Data handling, you remember what all we have done? We have drawn pie charts, we have done frequency distribution table, we have drawn histograms, we have drawn bar charts. So please revise all that. Definitely one is coming in 4 marks and one is coming in 3 marks. So maybe a histogram or a frequency polygon, a pictograph, etc. All this is going to be asked. Then in visualizing solids, you have 2 questions for 3 marks. You understand? Visualizing solids, can you recall what all we have done? We have done the Euler's formula. We have verified the Euler's formula for various solids. Then we have done mapping, drawing maps. We have done reading the map, trying to understand the information in a map, trying to measure distances in a map. All this will come with these 2 questions. So please revise it properly. Mensuration, of course, we have so many problems. We have done the area of quadrilateral, area of trapezium, area of parallelogram, etc., etc. That's why you have 1 question in 3 marks and 2 questions in 4 marks. So please be very careful about that. The mensuration that I have, sorry, mensuration we have done today also. Sorry, okay, mensuration we have done today only. Visualizing solids, you have areas of polygons. Please remember that. Here you have surface area and volumes. Okay, so 11 marks, 2 in 4 marks, 1 in 3 marks. Exponents and powers, tomorrow I am starting, so more about it I will tell you tomorrow. Algebra, I think sir is doing, so he will tell you what will come in 3 marks, what will come in 4 marks, etc. And factorization, I think either I will take or sir will take, whoever completes first. Mostly he may start because he is at the end of expressions. I am only starting the exponents tomorrow. So let us see how we can do it. Okay. Then coming to the section D, each question carries 4 marks. So you have linear equations, quadrilaterals, practical geometry, data handling, 2 questions in mensuration, 1 in exponents and powers, and 1 in expressions. All right. So I hope it is clear. So that's how weightage for each chapter is also given. Linear equations, we are having 9 marks. Quadrilateral 7. Practical geometry 7. Data handling 7. Squares and cubes, we have 3 each. Again, comparing quantities also, I did take a large share because I think it was done very, very fast. So I thought, okay, let me weightage only 3 marks there. Visualizing solids, I think I have spent a lot of time with you. So I have taken 9 marks there. Mensuration also, a lot of time spent. So 11 marks. These 2 chapters, that is exponents and factorization, we are yet to do. We will do it in another 1 week or so. So that is 7 and 6 plus expressions is 8. So this sums up to 8. So I hope it is clear. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay, then I think we'll stop here. So we will meet again on Friday. Okay. So please complete your classworks. Do all the problems that I've done in the class. And also Start preparing for your exams. All right? Put your names in the chat box before you leave. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am. Have a nice day, ma'am.
Thank you.